Have you ever felt like you're just not strong enough, fast enough, or good enough? Well, let me tell you a story about a tiny ant named Ari who felt exactly the same way. In a bustling ant colony, where every ant seemed bigger, stronger, and faster, Ari was the smallest of them all. While her friends could easily carry huge crumbs and hefty seeds back to the nest, Ari struggled with even a single grain of wheat. She would huff and puff, her tiny legs trembling under the weight. One sunny afternoon, as Ari was wrestling with a particularly stubborn grain, a big, shiny beetle strutted by. He laughed, his voice booming. "Look at that tiny thing. You'll never get that back to your home. Why don't you just give up?" Ari's antennae drooped. The beetle's words stung, and for a moment she thought maybe he was right. Maybe she just wasn't cut out for this. But then, as she looked up, she saw a magnificent oak tree towering over the meadow. She remembered the queen ant once telling them how that mighty tree grew from a single tiny acorn. It didn't become a giant overnight. It grew little by little, day by day, pushing through the soil, reaching for the sun, never giving up. A spark ignited within Ari. If a tiny seed could become a mighty oak, surely she could carry one grain of wheat. With newfound determination, Ari gripped the grain and pushed forward. It wasn't easy. The path was long and treacherous. Suddenly, the sky darkened, and big, heavy raindrops began to fall, turning the dusty path into a sticky, muddy mess. Other insects scrambled for cover, but Ari kept going. She slipped, she slid, she fell, but each time she got back up, wiped the mud from her eyes, and pushed onward, one tiny step at a time. Her whole body ached, but the image of the oak tree kept her going. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, she saw the entrance to the colony. Exhausted but triumphant, Ari dragged her precious grain of wheat over the threshold. The other ants, who had long since returned with their own hauls, stopped and stared. They hadn't seen Ari struggle. They only saw her arrive covered in mud, but with her prize held high. A hush fell over the colony, followed by a wave of admiration. They saw not a small, weak ant, but a hero. Her story spread like wildfire. The queen ant herself came to see Ari. "My dear," she said, her voice warm and wise, "today you have shown everyone what true strength is. It is not about size or speed. True strength is the will to keep going when things are hard, to never, ever give up." From that day on, no one ever looked at Ari as just a tiny ant. She was a symbol of courage and persistence. The other ants, inspired by her journey, learned that the biggest challenges are not conquered by brute force, but by a spirit that refuses to quit. So the next time you feel small, or the task ahead seems impossible, remember Ari and the oak tree. Remember that every great journey begins with a single step, and true power lies in your persistence. Just keep moving forward, one step at a time, and you'll be amazed at the mountains you can move. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that inspire. See you next time.